Well, up it's Saturday, work day. Usually not on Saturdays up here at G Body Auto, but working on this car, or actually my wife, next car. And I was putting in a remote start kit from MPC, and I've used it before on the other Infiniti issue drives, but this one a little bit more steps to it. Seem like this right here. Usually just go into the dash, they give you a T harness. You can see part of it here. Then they give you the actual part that will control that remote start. But anyway, so now I had to go through the push start button because it said without connecting that to the T harness, it will not work. So I didn't do this on the other car. The other Infiniti is made pretty much just like this. But anyway, so when I didn't backtrack, I didn't record that part. But when you taking all this stuff apart to get to the radio and all that, you start off with the piece that was right here. It's like a trim cover. So it sits like this. Then you just pop it up. Just pop it up with a pry tool, pop up, and it gets out the way. Then you can access this whole, the whole wood grain part at the bottom, the shifter and all that. So you pop that up, that comes up pretty easy. You pull down the sleeve on the shifter, and then there's a little pin that you pull out with a screwdriver, and you can take the shifter off. Then you take that whole piece up. Then kind of one by one, take out the ashtray, that pops out, no screws. And then the next is the face of your radio and the comm control and stuff like that. There's 2 screws. Once you pop out this, there's 2 screws that's right there, Phillips. Take those out, one on each side, and then you pop this off. Pops off pretty easy. The next one would be basically these screws right here. There's really another set down there I can't show you. It's at the bottom of this. So you have 2 at the bottom, and then you can't take this unit out yet. You'll be able to see there's 2 more screws up there, but you can't get to them because that navigation face and screen is actually, it's in the way. So you'll take out the next 2 screws for the navigation screen, pop that off, and then you access the top screws for your radio. Then you just pull that out. So I'm stuck right here trying to figure out a way to get this plug off the remote start. I didn't see no videos about replacing the ignition button. I just wanted to see how they would get it out. But I'm about to try to tackle this, and because the plug, I can't find no push down tab or anything. It's kind of hard to see back there, but I'm gonna try to work at it and see what I can find out. Be right back at y'all. Okay, yeah, I'm back. This kind of made me upset because I didn't want to use the pry tool on that button from the outside, so I'm like, man, how am I gonna get this thing down? You can't reach it from this side of the dash, of course. But anyway, here's the back side of that. It is up under there. That tab is under there. I just couldn't push it in, and you can't get nothing back there really. You have to get like a hook. I forgot the name of the tool, but you know what? I got some little small picks. There's some with the L shape and hooks. You can just bend it. But now we know at the bottom, it's on the bottom side. So your button is sitting like this. That means that plug down there. You got to push that tab. So anyway, I just stuck my hand around here and pushed it out. I saw one tab just poked out, so I'm like, oh, it can come out. Had I known that, I probably would have tried harder, because I did put my pry tool around there earlier, but this, you see what happened here. It damages real easy. That's the only reason why I didn't continue to pull on it. I thought I was going to end up damaging, this this bad material Infiniti chose to put in these cars, especially the 2003 to 2007 models. They were really bad dash. They were gum up and all that stuff. A lot of people had to put the dash cover on there. So anyway, sorry about the dinging in the back. I have the ignition. I got this in neutral and the door open. So anyway, I'm gonna get back to installing this remote start check out MPC. I'm not getting paid to say that. I'm too new on this stuff. I don't know how that stuff works, but I've gotten a couple remote starts for the factory push button cars. They're plug and play. You got to do a little programming, so they're pretty good company so far to me. So anyway, I got to plug in this other harness up into that, and then their harness will go into the back of this. So next time, if you're dealing with an ignition, or if you want to get your radio taken out, even though I didn't go through all those steps, if you get to the ignition, if you try a little harder than I did, you know, and use this pry tool, if you're not scared, I'll put something behind it and then pry it. That way you won't mess up the material that's on here, and you should be able to get this out. So if not, then you have to go through the radio steps. But all right, I'll let y'all know how this turned out, and just wanted to mainly tackle the issue with getting the ignition button. If you're replacing remote start button, if it's, you know, acting up on you. I haven't ran into a car that does that, but or anybody else that said that, but eventually anything wear out. So hopefully somebody else will do a video on that, but I'll post this too. So all right, y'all, another car, another project at G-Body Auto. I'll update y'all in a minute once I finish the remote start. All right, y'all, so I did get finished with everything. I installed the remote start. I know this video was mainly trying to get to that push button start, the button itself, if you need to replace it, or you're trying to add that MPC remote start to your key fob that you already have. So you use your factory remote. So I just want to show y'all how it do work. Hit it 3 times. And there you go, it accepted it. Should be starting up. There you go. I want to show you guys something also. So this is the company there. MPC, it's called My Push Cart. I've bought from them before, like I mentioned. But yeah, so earlier I was talking about that push button start, how to get that out. I took all that radio issue, all the radio stuff, that whole screen and everything to get to it. But this is, see, earlier I nicked it, and that's why I was afraid to pry this stuff open. I was afraid to pry this. This happened a little bit afterwards, and this dash, it just crumbles. Infinity has some bad design material. But anyway, I want to show you guys, if I can hold this camera. You just pry the push button, get something hard that you can protect your dash with. Just do something like that, and then you can get that open. So you will need to get that open to tap into that wire. The only problem I see that you might have is routing that black and white wire from this dash point. You can get all that open, but it's hard to probably get some needle nose tweezers, long ones. You might be able to see the wire and pull it through. If you can't, because of this design, you will have to take apart all that, like I mentioned, to get your hand back there freely. So you can see that it's been nicked before. I didn't do that. But anyway, that's it. 2009 Infiniti fx50. This is the 50 series with the V8 motor. You don't see them all the time, but anyway, so yeah, it should go from 2008 to 2014, I believe, maybe 12. I can't remember, but there you go. Hopefully it can benefit somebody. This kind of was a mixed video with removing the push start button if you need to change that, and the remote start. Even though I didn't go through all the steps, you have to go online. Once they send you a remote, you get it on Amazon. That's where I got mine. Once they send it to you, they'll come with the whole harness. You just drop all this stuff down. It's pretty simple. I think it's only 2 screws that hold the hood latch cable. Those 2 screws right there, and then that way you can access all the plugs. There's only like 2 or 3 plugs you would use to tap into, and then this part is the hardest part. So yeah, and then then they'll run you through how to program the whole device, which if you're not careful, you'll miss some mistakes like I did over and over again. I deal with cars all the time and I still miss the simplest mistakes, just like starting off, put your key fob in that. One of the things I forgot to do was one of the T harnesses, you unhook this and you hook up their harness to it, but you still got to hook their harness back to this. So I forgot that. Being simple things that I should know, but when you start trying to program it, make sure this key fob was in here. I had it in my pocket, I had it down there, and once I ran back through the steps and looked back, see what I was missing, simple things. So make sure you start from the beginning, don't try to skip steps, and it should work out fine. And they have a tech line and everything if you need help, if you get stuck. So there you have it. Remote start, everything's working. And also, if you get tired of the beeps, like your horn beeps, because you got to hit the lock button 3 times to start the car up. And from the factory, it's set to your horn honks every time you lock it. So sometimes that's annoying. So what you can do is hold down the lock and unlock button. Make sure you have the door closed and stand on the outside of the vehicle so you can see the front of the car. Hold those 2 buttons down for 3 seconds and you'll see your lights flash. And that means it accepted it. Now it's on silent mode. And you can switch it back doing the same thing. So there you have it. Hope this worked out and helped you out if you're doing the same thing. Sorry it wasn't so detailed. I wasn't planning on it really, kind of winging it. So another one from G Body Auto. Yeah, have a safe one.